they'll lynch you. But he did, and he laughs at
Hi everybody, Russ of the West End Network. Hope you are all safe and well, my friends. I generally hope you are. If you're new and give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a good subscribe. Let's just sort this out. Let's just address the elephant in the room. I've got a bit of a bloodshot eye, so I do apologise. Halloween was on Monday. I should have had it for Monday, but anyway, I do apologise. If you're new and as I said, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, maybe become a channel member. Hope you're all safe and well. Obviously, it's Thursday. It's Europa Conference League day, the last game week until March for us, which is phenomenal. So after today, we've got 4 months without any European football. Crazy stuff. Obviously, away to Fcsb. Safe travels to everyone who's out there already or on their way. Hopefully, if you're out there already, you weren't suffered too much by the 5.5 Richter scale earthquake that was covered over in Budapest yesterday or early this morning. No, it wasn't me, by the way, if anyone asks. Anyone being a bit cheeky. I hope you're all safe and well if you're over there. Hopefully, we'll be doing, we will be doing the watch along later on today from about 6:45. It's 8 o'clock kickoff. It'll be a really interesting game, I think. I think it'll be one of those games where, we come out of it looking really good. So I think about that Dinamo Zagreb game last season when we had like 7 of the youth team were playing, and we lost the game, but it was like quite warming knowing what we've got coming through the ranks, and I think that's going to be very much the case tonight. Hopefully we'll grab some time maybe with John Ratomski's out there with Martin after the game, hopefully, based on how good the Wi-Fi is. That's apparently the travelling squad. They touched down quite late last night. I think they had, because of the weather, I think they had their plane was slightly delayed by the looks of it. So, the 3 goalkeepers, I don't expect Ariola to be playing. I expect Randolph to be playing, or Heggie. Probably Randolph, to be honest. I expect Aguerd to get some game time. I expect Soufal to get some game time. Coventry, probably not Downs. I imagine Lanzini will get some game time. Ogbonna will get some game time. And then I think the rest will be made out of the likes of Forson, the likes of Orford, Scarles, Forbes, Clayton. These are the guys who have been sort of in and around, have been training quite a bit in the last sort of couple of days with the first team. So obviously the likes of Declan Rice, Antonio, Scamacca, they haven't travelled at all, which is great, and this is exactly what we want, isn't it? We don't want any risk, so that's why I don't think they'll risk playing Ariola. I think Aguerd needs the game time, so I could see him coming in, and Ogbonna as well needs the game time as well. Anyway, we'll be doing all that as well. And as I said, in my little thing, when the kids are united. You see what I did there? The song, The Kids Are United, and we're playing the kids, and we're united. I don't just make this stuff up. I believe the children are the future. Treat them well and let them lead the way. Not my words, the words of Whitney Houston. Let's see, we've got the chat. Darius, very early. Darius Sal Putre, 4-1 for West Ham. Scott, hope you're well. Enjoy the game. Hope we'll see a few kids. I'm sure we will. Love's in the chat. Matt's in the chat. Andy, hope you're well. Afternoon, Ralph, hope you're well. Thank God he didn't fly over most of the first team, but should have left Ariola at home. Yeah, I think, but it's always that 3 goalkeeper thing, isn't it? It's always that 3 goalkeeper thing. In terms of today, you'll have Randolph, Heggie, Ariola. That's the way I see it happening. Irish Tommy, good afternoon to you. Hope you're well. Don't forget, tomorrow night we'll have the Late Show with Irish Tommy. We'll be probably talking about tonight and how great it is to see so many kids. And they'll be getting ready for the Crystal Palace game on Sunday. It's a crazy week this week coming up. We've got Sunday, Crystal Palace. Wednesday, we've got Blackburn in the Carabao Cup, and then we've got Leicester on the Saturday. And also the Monday, whoa! Cool thing for the West Ham Network and Rusty B. So, although we'll sort of allude to it a little bit, and then we'll probably put something together during the sort of the World Cup break as a proper video. But check it out. All good in the hood, as well as an announcement from West Ham Network as well in terms of our website. I imagine we'll be announcing that very, very soon. Drayton Hammers, hope you're well. I think Randolph might play today. I think you might. Why bother taking Ario when they have Heggie on the bench? Always two goalkeepers in it. Always two goalkeepers on the bench. That's Moyes' way of thinking. Lee, hope you're well. James, hope you're well. Rather Randolph plays Nariel on Sunday against Palace. Don't think we'll need him on it with Fabmat. I think you're totally right. Yeah, actually, Dan Potts as well. Yeah, he should be on there as well. You're right. He's on there as well. Very, very good point. Shane the Rules done that. Marshall. Indeed, we have to have that to be there for at least 2 years. So that was why I think actually that's one of the reasons why I think Armstrong Arflex went on loan, because he wasn't going to be getting any European games, because I don't think he was qualified. No, he was, wasn't he? Sorry, he was. Yeah, this year he was, wasn't he? Because he played against Viborg, didn't he? He made his debut. But obviously last season he wasn't. Heggie should start. Pointless playing Randolph, as there's nothing we can learn about him, and we also won't know anything about Heggie. Good point. Good goalkeeper, Heggie. That spot does not fill with confidence, but he's what he is. Ladders, and that's what we want. We want this. The whole point of today is a dead rubber. It's a complete dead rubber. Obviously, FCSB can't qualify. We've already qualified group winners. It's exactly the right format. It's exactly the right thing we wanted to do. We wanted to not go in this with any care. It's almost like this is no disrespect to the people going out there, but it's a bit of a training game. I think it's a bit of an exhibition game, a bit of a friendly, in all honesty. Although there's never anything. There never is a friendly. It's no football. Never is a friendly. But it's a great experience for the players, for the youngsters going out there playing European football, and also giving the likes of Aged, Bonner some minutes as well. Soufal maybe some minutes. I think you'll see a reasonably good starting 11 with a few of the kids littered in, and then second half bringing them on very much like we did against the Dinamo Zagreb game. The difference between that and last time is that obviously we were at home and we were away. And by Potts we mean obviously Freddie, not Dan. Afternoon, Neil, hope you're well. We're all sat at 11:05 on a Thursday night. Mental. Looks like you have shed the cold, or have it's in my eye now. Look, it's in my eye. It's getting better. Every day passes, it's getting better. Thank you very much. We are making our way through it. Everyone's talking to each other. I've dropped the 4 X's. Okay. I worked out today why our standard of play has dropped since, and it's quite obvious. Tell us, Mandy. Like to see the kids do well, but Sunday is a must-win game. Whether we will is another story. Hi, Terence from New Zealand, 140. Good luck, lads, 2-1 win. And also good luck to Poppy Cleo. England. We got the England got the World Cup, Women's World Cup. In New Zealand. That's why I decided to make that announcement. She's in the squad for the semi-final game against Canada on Saturday morning, early Saturday morning. I think it's 3:30 UK time, GMT. Lovely girl, Poppy is. Brilliant, and she's a West Ham fan. We've had her on the channel. Check out the community tab. There's a link to the interview if you want to watch it. She's a lovely lady, and good luck to her on Saturday. I watched highlights of 3 games: Sevilla at home, Liverpool at home, and Newcastle. Fornals was a threat last season in the final third. Suchek was a force, and set piece. Well, that's it's exactly, Vandy. That's the thing. And also, someone put up, I think it was the Bowling Boys, put up a thing on Twitter of 3-minute highlight clip of West Ham versus Newcastle 3 years ago under Pellegrini, and we lost 3-2, and they could have scored 10. They could have scored 10. And anyone who wants Moyes is out, look at what we ended up with last time we got Moyes out. We got Pellegrini in, a proven Premier League winner, and it didn't work. And we spent 150 odd million pounds on the likes of Haller and Felipe Anderson. We had an absolute shambles against Newcastle. That wasn't even the good Newcastle. The Newcastle we got now, that was a bad Newcastle, pre-money Newcastle. They'll probably play a weekend team too, as they have to play for, but they're in front of their fans. So there'll still be a fair. So I reckon Irish, they want to finish off it with some. I don't know if there's any, because the chance they could still get third, isn't there? I think. I don't know whether they, and you still get money for each win. I think still got a couple of $100,000 or something ridiculous like that for each win. So there's still something to play for. But I know what you mean. Sort of pointless match that we can do without, and the majority is starting left at home. Yep, totally right. Totally right. Fornals was such a player. He certainly was. But I think we've been playing, as you said, playing in the wrong position, unfortunately. I can see him getting some game time this week. Tonight, definitely. And as you said, the likes of Ben Rama haven't travelled. Skamaka, I mean, Downs has travelled. So he won't get, I don't think, getting any game time. That to me, if Downs has travelled, that to me might suggest that potentially Paqueta's back in contention for Sunday. Because would you risk taking Downs over, even if he trips up on the flight? You know what I mean? It's because obviously he's been playing that sort of 10 role. I don't know. But it's a slightly a weird one with Downs, where the likes, all the others you can assume. I mean, Downs and Areola are probably the only two at the moment in that squad that has travelled who would say would be first team contenders. Soufal's not, Ogbona's not. Aged will be, but he needs game time. So quite interesting. Why buy Emerson and put Fornals left wing? Play Pablo more centrally like he did against Man United. No, I agree. Coventry will start. Cornet won't start. No. Cornet's nowhere near today. He hasn't travelled, I don't think. Looked great when he came on and plays number 10. He did. Coventry deserves a start after last week. He will start, I think. I think we'll be 5 at the back tonight. Oggy, Aged, Johnson, centre-backs. Quite possibly. I think it's, you're playing with a bunch of kids as well, so you want to sort of have that sort of defensive base for them to work on. No, I think you're right, man. I think you're right. That's cool. Yeah. Might have another ex-Hammer on next week, maybe. Would rather Randolph played, as the under 21s haven't played too well this season. It's a good point. They haven't played very well at all this season, compared to previous years. One of the major issues, I think, Ludders, is the fact that most of our decent under 21s players are actually out. Okaflex, Dan Chesters, Meepo, they're all on loan. So, you're bringing kids through. I don't know. Cornet's still injured. Well, I think he might be back I reckon he's back in contention for this week, I think, coming. But we'll see. He's been out for a while. I think he's missed like 8 games or something ridiculous like that. But anyway, keep an eye out for that. I think him and Paqueta could be back for this little mini run-in we've got now, these 3 games in 6 days. Afternoon, Rich, hope you're well. I'll put a Lady Godiva on it being Coventry. Nice. For those of you who are asking, that means a $5. Everyone's talking to each other. Lovely to see. As I said, we've got loads coming up this week as well. Obviously, we've got tonight. We've got Hammer's headlines, a couple of transfer rumours. I love a transfer rumour. A couple of transfer rumours coming up. Check that out. We've got the watch along, probably the review show straight afterwards. Anton will be doing that. We'll have the ratings, which will be quite interesting, I think, because there'll be a lot of the youngsters as well. So that'll be interesting. As well as the presser for the Crystal Palace game. And then Hammer's headlines. And then we'll have Irish Tommy doing his late show tomorrow night. We'll have Holly on Saturday doing her show. Tweet all about it. And then we get ready for the Palace game, mate. Innit? We've got all the previews and the starting 11s. All that stuff will be going up tomorrow. So if you want to start picking your side, who you think is going to start against Crystal Palace from tomorrow, that'll be all up and running. So that'll be all good in the hoods. And then we'll have Matchday morning from outside the ground on Sunday. And then probably I might try and jump on and do a little bit after the game with Anton. And then I've got some exciting stuff to do on Monday. Exciting stuff for the channel on Monday, which involves a long day, but it'll be very exciting, I think, for the channel. So keep an eye out for that. And then we start getting ready for Blackburn. It's relentless. And then, after next Saturday, bugger all, because the World Cup. Thank you so much. I don't know about you, but I'm not ready for this World Cup. I just, there's no build, there's no excitement for me. At least like when it's in a normal time, it's you sort of had that sort of period. You know, they had the friendlies beforehand. You get the squad announcement. I'm not excited. I'm not excited about the World Cup. We're going to have some ex-players coming. We've sort of stacked them all up, so we should have a lot of ex-players coming on during the World Cup. So you know, people to talk to. There's one literally just text me, which should be quite cool, a little bit different, someone you haven't seen before on the channel as well, which is nice. What we got here? Really want to see Ashby and Scarles play. Would love to see him play. I think I can see Ashby playing. Scarles maybe maybe they give him half each, but I think they'll probably. Yeah, I think Ashby will start. Wait, sorry, so I'm just sending this email. So yeah, you say men can't multitask. What we got here? He should give Ashby a rung. He should be very good. Thanks. Still on a high after meeting Russell. Well, there has been unconfirmed rumours that Mama Cox still hasn't washed her face where I kissed it twice, not once but twice. That's what's unconfirmed rumours so far. But it's like, yeah, that's what I've heard. And she doesn't want to wash her face because she doesn't want to get the smell of my aftershave off her. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. Afternoon, Pete. I hope you're well. Nice to see you on the live. When I was in the army, when someone is constantly ill or injured, he was called sick note. Is Cornet one? I think Cornet is one of these people who wants to be 100%. He doesn't, he has to be 100%. Whereas some people might have a sniffle and they can play. He wants to be 100%, and maybe possibly. It's like me. I always get ill over Christmas. Although when we were proper locked in, I wasn't ill because I wasn't talking to anyone. I wasn't going out, But here it's like, now you're interacting with people. Palace. Who the F are Palace? Indeed, Monday Secrets. Well, I think what I might do is I might do the show, the lunchtime show on the Monday from where I'm going. So you can sort of some people might be able to put two and two together, some people might not. This World Cup is a good time to take a rest from any football. It is. I'm going on holiday. I'm off to Florida, which is lovely. Can't wait. I cannot wait. We didn't have a summer holiday this year. The Budden household, and we're off to the obviously the World Cup, and Florida. Oh, can't wait. You're going to be stuck with Anton over Christmas. That's what I'm saying. Or maybe I might join in. Maybe I'll come and do a watch along for the Boxing Day game at Arsenal. It's all about the money now. It is, and I think to be honest, I think it's one of those things where it looks phenomenal. I'm not, there's a couple of YouTube guys who are doing some stuff out there in Qatar at the moment, and some of them they're not ready. Some of the stadiums have still got like building work outside, but they look phenomenal. And the infrastructure is like, I was in. We go to Dubai quite a bit, and it's amazing, in terms of the levels of service and how clean everything is and things like that. But it's in the middle of Christmas, and this is going to F up the whole Premier League season for us. Particularly for the bigger sides, I think, for the greedy six, where the majority of their players are going to be going to the World Cup. I think we've got potentially, 5 or 6, isn't it? We've got Areola going, Zuma, Agard, I'm just going through the side, Declan Rice, Bowen potentially. That's probably it. You're not getting Fornals ain't going to break into the side. Is Algeria in the World Cup? So, I don't know, actually. So, you might get 6 of our first teamers go out into the World Cup. See, I was right. Unconfirmed rumours. Is your lack of interest because you can't see them going all the way, Russ? No, I just don't. To be honest, I'm one of those guys who is such a fair weather England fan. So, I don't like any of the sort of mid-season, the games in the season anyway, for when England play. I find it was a distraction, particularly for West Ham. As soon as we get things going, we're always on international duty, and it takes us 2 or 3 weeks to get back into it after we get back from international duty. I will become a fair weather fan, so I'll get on board after the group stages usually. So when we're starting, we've got some progression. I think England could do the job. They could do. They got just a good enough chance as anyone else, but I'm just not up. I was talking to a guy yesterday, actually, who's associated in football, and he's like, I'm just not up for this yet. And I think maybe because it's also the time differences as well. I think once next week's gone, I think it's all, once next Saturday, the next last week's games fixtures have happened. I think then it's switches onto the World Cup, and I think then you'll see a lot more, because at the moment we still haven't got that. We still haven't. When you see like the BBC, schedule, and you see like their little video package, the intro, and same as the ITV, and you don't get that yet because we're still in the Premier League mode. It might be as soon as we finish that Premier League, then it's all about the World Cup. But then maybe we'll get into it. I don't know. Is that how everyone reacts when Pete? You should know. I've just touched the like button and it did not take any effort. Trust me. Very good. And if you want to touch the like button, feel free to touch it. It's lovely. Toby's in the house. Say hi to Bish Bosh for me, Russ. Oh, yes, he's over in... yes. Let me message him. Great shout, Tom. Great shout. I wonder if he's around, actually. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen him for ages. Great shout. Well, actually, I think he'll be over... he's going to come over... He might be over for the... there's a great night happening. There's a really good one happening on Friday, if anyone's in the Romford area. It's the Strikers Night. It's Brian Deere, it's Crossy, it's Tony Cotty, Trevor Morley, who was meant to be on yesterday, but Trevor had really bad... Anyone who's seen this channel before, his phone is just crap, and so he couldn't get onto it. And Marlon Harewood, and that's at the Rusk. And if you want details, E13 events. There's a great night on the 2nd of December at the London Hilton, which is the 92-93 promotion season. I think Bish is coming along to that one as well, which would be great. Afternoon, Simon. Hope you're well. Mixture of things really. Okay, bores me and picks on players. And this is the World Cup. Yeah, fair enough. Absolutely gut for chill. But Aaron Cresswell is is statistically the best left back in Europe at the moment, based on scores. He was in the team. He's in the European team of the week, team of the first 6 months or something ridiculous like that. With Messi, it's potentially our best chance to win the World Cup. With a lot of big names missing due to injury. You're totally right. Never been so disinterested. Did you realise they have a massive aircon units in the ground, but will soon lecture us on how not to use air in the summer? Bloody, totally right. Will West Ham win this game for my bet's sake? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the Bucharest game. I'd like to. Potentially will be... I think no other clubs have won 6 out of 6 games in the Europa Conference, albeit the conference has only been around for a year. But I don't think any clubs won 6 out of 6. So we could go down history, but so could Villarreal, who also... And I think the other team... Drift Gardens IF, they've won all their games. But as much chance of West Ham winning the Champions League, 0% chance of winning the World Cup. Club over country for me all day. Always been Andy, same with me. The Argies will win with a Manu hat-trick in final. I don't think Lanzini's going to that. They go to the World Cup. Geez, Russ, you've got a nerve talking about time differences. Try living down under the World Cup. You'll be fine for the World Cup, will you? Better? You'll be better for the World Cup. Afternoon, Jan. Hope you're well. Russ Moyes would love to go unbeaten tonight. He would do, yeah. We have a poor record in Romania. 3 losses and 1 draw. Steaua Bucharest, yeah. 99 with it. It was UEFA Cup second round proper, or first round proper. Very poor match. I remember that. I remember being on Channel 5, the away game. I remember watching it on Channel 5. Absolutely crazy. We need to win out of 11-11. I presume it's 11 to lift the cup. No, not now. So we've got. So what we've got. Yeah. So we go through to the 16s. So we've got 16 home and away, quarterfinals home and away, semis home and away, and the final. So there's So I think because I think you need 12 points to qualify. So that's 7 plus that is 11 games. Yeah. So I think it's 11 games you needed to win technically that's the smallest amount of games you needed to win the conference. So we've won 5 already, but we still need another. So regardless of what happens today, we've got 7 games left to lift the trophy. But then that's why I think something like the Carroll Cup next week shouldn't take that lightly at all, because actually thinking about it, you go into the third round. I think you've got third, fourth, fifth, quarters, semis in one leg. Six games in total, and you're in Europe, albeit back in the conference, I believe. So Yeah, so it's it shouldn't be taken lightly at all. As I said, we've got loads of stuff coming up. We'll have the watch along. We'll have, and then we have all the previews for the Crystal Palace game after that. It's a busy old week next week. Busy old week. You're not going to see much different apart from match day content, I'll be honest, for next week. But then it's going to start easing off a little bit. We'll have some I'm sure there'll be some rumours because there'll be nothing to fill. And also we'll be coming back when we come back from the Premier League. It's coming out, it'll be the end of Christmas, it'll be Boxing Day, and then we come into January as well. It's crazy at the moment. What have we got here? Neil, I'm +7 now. Oh dear, of course, in Thailand. Yeah, I was seeing, I think it was Tim from the American Hammers Network, because LA, I think it will be 7 o'clock, so it's 8 o'clock, so it's 8 hours, so midday. No, because their clocks ain't changed yet, have they? I think they changed this week, so I think they'll be 1 o'clock. So I think they're 7 hours behind. So yeah, love it. I love it. I love the fact we've got Thailand, we've got Australia, New Zealand, Hornchurch. We've got the lot. And we got people like where we got people. We got Irish Tommy, obviously in Ireland. We got Rich down in the West Country. We've got Scott in Canada. Love it. 10.5 hours difference between here and London now. Wow. I'm not going through the trend. Well, Ralph, it's started already. We'll have 2 more rumours tonight. 2 more rumours. Well, one's not really rumour. One is more about a price that's been set on a previously rumoured player, and the other one is another player. But we had one yesterday, so didn't we? What a lot of rain we've had last couple. Down the road, down Hornchurch, down Osborne Road, it's flooded. All the kids couldn't get to school, so they had to go all the way around the back. Poor kids. Comparison between the summer and the have off in the winter, straight after Premier League games with potential injuries, wiping your chances of participation. That's the thing, David. You got to think in terms of our England's chances, and actually a lot of other like Spain and France and stuff. Well, I suppose they have winter breaks. Yeah, I think they do. It's we get into this half a season in. So, we should be fresher. Traditionally, we've always had that burnout, haven't we, after the season ends. And, we get knackered. We're in peak form, really. We should be. And so, you got to think they would have more chance. But then so would everyone else. But I just can't get up for it. Can't get up for it yet. Although as soon as we get to I'm a fair weather fan, I'll be all like face painting and all that stuff, pretty early on. What team do you think will start tonight, Russ? Well, I think Matt and Anton did their 11s this morning, and I thought it wasn't a bad 11. I think you're going to have, for me, I think it's going to be Randolph in goal. I think it's a back 3 of Oggy, Aged, Johnson. I think left wing back. I don't think Emerson's travelled, is he? I don't think Emerson's travelled. Maybe you might have Ashby and Skulls. Maybe. I think you'll have Coventry and Lanzini starting in the middle. I think you'll have Diven up front. I think you'll have a lot of first-teamers, a lot of the first-team squad in there as much as possible, and then you'll be bringing on the likes of Forson. Maybe Freddie Potts might start left wing back if he's travelled, possibly. But I mean, you've got Swire, you got Forson. You've got some good players there, and I think they'd play well with some good first teamers around them. I wouldn't want to throw all the kids in that Nottingham Forest game where he played the likes of Sebastian Leggett and stuff. And we've had Seb on, and he spoke about how it sort of really took a hit on his development. That's not what you want. You want a nice balance, I think. You don't want to be thrown to the wolves, so to speak. So it's about having a right balance. It's actually quite a responsibility on Moyes, I think, as well. I know he says he wants to put the kids in, but it's how many kids you put in and at what time. It's a real challenge, really, because you don't want to stunt their growth. You don't want them to get turned over 6 or 7. That not only will that stunt their development, but also it stops all this momentum we've sort of been building up recently. I know we lost the other day against United, but it was a good 1-0 loss, if you can have that. But you know what I mean? So you want to keep that momentum going because we've got going to these 3 weeks. And actually, to be fair, any of those kids playing on tonight, there's a place in the team against Blackburn on Wednesday. Realistically, Moyes will, in terms of the squad, he'll be rotating it for the next 4 games. The side that starts tonight will be totally different from the side that starts on Sunday. Will be totally different, I think, again, which from the side that starts on the Wednesday will again probably be different from the side that starts on the following Saturday. So there's a real opportunity for someone to stake their claim in the squad just before the World Cup. So yeah. Brazil, my favourites to win. Same at Brent Cross in terms of the flooding. Actually, we can lift that trophy without another win because of our penalty taking prowess. There we go. You've got it. Lanzini will start for penalties if we got one. Best of luck, West Ham, from Romania. Hopefully you will beat them 4-1 in Bucharest. Thank you, Darius. Appreciate it. 3 of the untripped will start tonight, in my opinion, with 2 or 3 coming on from the 5 subs used. I think I can see that being used. I can see us not needing, I think it's tricky because, you in the same way, we want to win, but also we want to see youngsters playing through, and there's a real balancing act, really. Because also you still get money for winning the game. So it's not a case of throwing the game, because actually if you throw it, there's still money, there's still money to be had. That pays for wages and stuff like that. So, it always helps. Hope Silk will go through. Me too. Obviously, there's still a load of undecideds. Obviously, by the end of play today, we'll know exactly who's qualified. We'll know who's dropped down from the conference, from the Europa League as well. Because at the moment, it's very. I wonder if I still got the. Let me see if I can show you what we're up to at the moment. Let me just find this. Where is it? Where's my stuff? Let me bring this up so I'll just download it quickly and upload it, just so you guys know what's going on, what's going on after today. Right, let's download that quickly. Give us 2 secs so my computer wants to work. Are we working, computer? Yeah, we're going to work today. We just download this quick and then I'll upload it. Again, who says men can't multitask? 24 to 26. Right, download a little bit. Chilwell looks like he's evaluated a left-back injury. Does Crest get called up? Oh, no, I don't think so. Sadly not. I think sadly it means they move Trippier to left wing back and bring in... we've got plenty of right-backs. Right-backs is one of the places we got loads of, so I think they put Trippier there maybe. You never know. He might get a potential 17-year-old. We could do. They've beaten all but us easily. Yeah, they certainly have. Don't Anderlecht and their shocking fans. I totally agree. Skulls is the player. But he travelled last game as well. So in terms of, let me just take out the logo. So that's who's qualified already for the knockouts. So Istanbul and Fiorentina, they've both qualified, but they haven't decided after tonight which one's gone through as group winner, which one's gone through as going into the playoff. Obviously with us, we've gone in for group winners, and basically whoever wins the Silkeborg Anderlecht game goes through, which is a great game to keep an eye on. Group C, Villarreal, they've gone through as group leaders, group winners, and Lech Poznan and Hapoel Sheva, they've gone, either of them can qualify. Group D is the same as Group A, Nice and Partizan Belgrade, they have to fight it out between who is the group winners. Same as Group E, with AZ and Dnipro 1. Group F, Dutch Gardens have gone through as group winners, and Molde Ghent will qualify. Group G, it's 2 of 3. Sisavorg, Cluj, gentleman in the chat who's a fan, and Slavia Prague. And Group H, in theory, any one of them can qualify, and any of them can go through as group leaders. So Slovene Bratislava, Basel, Prunjik, or Salgris, all of them could get through. So yes, it's quite interesting. Hopefully, going to European Spring. Hopefully so. Who is falling down? Good question, Mandy. We'll find that out tonight. Because obviously we've got the Europa League games. What you need to know is the draw for the last 16 will be on the 24th of February 2023. We, as group winners, go through to are one of the seeded teams, so we don't go into the knockout stages where the second place side of the group will go and play the third place side from the Conference League, from the Europa League. So we go through. So our first leg will be on the 9th, and our second leg will be on the 16th. Obviously, we don't know if that's home or away yet. In terms of who's dropped in, there's no guarantees who's dropped in yet. Again, we'll find this out tonight. But in Group A, it's either going to be Bodo or FC Zurich. In Group B, it's either going to be Dynamo Kiev or AEK Larnaca. In Group C, it's going to be either Roma or Ludogorets. In Group D, it's either going to be Union Berlin or Braga. Group E, Sheriff or Omonia Nicosia. Group F, it could be anyone. Lazio, Sturm Graz, Feyenoord or Michelak. In Group G, it could be Quebec or Nantes. Or Group H, it'd be Monaco, Strasbourg, or Red Star Belgrade. So you can see there's loads. There's loads of possibilities. We don't actually know at all. There's not some bad, some good teams there. There's some good teams. It's not teams that would scare me. Obviously, we had Sheriff last year. Sheriff had a really good run in the Champions League, didn't they? And they lost to Man United the other day. Union Berlin, not the side they were. Braga is still a very strong side. Dynamo Kiev are always a strong side. Roma, obviously. Group F is the one that worries me a little bit. Lazio, Feyenoord, good sides. Michelak as well. And Group H, Monaco, still a good side as well. So, we could. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. But obviously, we'll have a complete understanding of what's going to happen next week in terms of the next rounds once we get this game week out the way. No one in the conference worries me. Maybe Villarreal is all. Villarreal, that's a good side. What positions need filling in January? Left back and right wing, I'd say for me. We are the only team 5 out of 5 wins. The other two drew the last game. Andy, we can be the first ever side to win all their group games if we win today, which would be quite an accolade. Still need to take our chances to win. If we avoid Villarreal, I'll be happy. But obviously, we'll avoid them until the quarterfinal stages, because the 16s we won't play Villarreal because they're a group winner. So we're one of those. So it'll be us, Villarreal, Dush Gardens, and the other group winners. They go through, so we won't be playing any of them in the 16s. We'd more likely we could play them in the quarterfinals. Would you say it's easier to win than the FA Cup? Possibly, although you play more games in the conference. That's what I'm saying about the Carabao Cup. You play less games, but you're playing some good teams. Union Berlin are top of the Bundesliga, but they lost their main man, didn't they, in the summer? Arawani, they lost him to. We scored the other day, didn't we, for Nottingham Forest? But yeah, as I said, but then you never know. Union Berlin may well prioritise the league rather than the conference playoff if they get through, or if they drop down. So we'll see. I think we may. The fact is that having a not great Premier League season for us, maybe we prioritise this to win, and then we're guaranteed Europa League next year because the winners obviously go into the Europa League. Roma won it last year, and they went into the Europa League, didn't they? So there's still plenty to play for, and as I said, there's still some good clubs, some nice away there. A lot of sort of Eastern European sides in there, and that's the whole idea of the conference, is to give these guys more European places. So the likes of Lecce Poznan, you've got Partizan Belgrade, you've got Dnipro, you've got Slavia Prague, you've got it's Bratislava. You've got lots of sort of Eastern European teams as well. So which means cheaper days away, isn't it? All the guys in Budapest at the moment having a great time with the beer, where the price of beer is cheaper than the bottled water in one bar I saw. So good luck to them. And as I said, the types of teams coming in, dropping down, like Dynamo Kiev. You've got there's Red Star Belgrade. Yeah. we play better teams, we would do, because that's the second tier. And so we would play better teams, and we're going to be playing this is the third tier, isn't it? Really, I'm sure the Champions League teams we play. But actually, funny enough, when you got to the final four, I would say arguably the final four teams in the conference were stronger than the final four teams in the Europa League. So obviously, it was us, it was Rangers, it was Frankfurt, and it was. My brain's gone to mush. Who the fourth team was? But anyway, but in terms of the conference, it was Roma, I think PSV, I think Leicester, and one more as well. So yeah, can Sliversball and my team are going to the European? You could do, man. You could do indeed. As I said, it's 2 out of 3. You've got those those two teams and Slavia Prague, and obviously it's played. The final of the conference is going to be played in Slavia Prague. It's got ground, isn't it? Former, the home. I'd like it to be a homecoming for Tommy Soucek and Vladimir Sufal. Just saying that we have a really decent chance. We do. We're probably us and Villarreal, the top 2 teams, aren't they? In all honesty, we're going to win the final of this competition 3-0. Look at Frankfurt into the. Yep, they are. Easier to win than the FA Cup. I'd suggest so. Easy to win the Betway Cup. We always get to the final of the Betway Cup. No one realises that. Every year we get to the final. Although we didn't do it this year. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go. As I said, Hammer's Headlines 5 o'clock. Check it out. There'll be a couple of transfer rumours. There's also a really interesting story about Haru Sissoko, the West Ham women's midfielder, who's got the longest ever. It was yesterday. She was given the longest ever ban in WSL history. I don't know if you saw it. They had a massive melee, a massive brawl with them versus Aston Villa, and she got sent off for punching someone, and then it all kicked off afterwards. And Paul Konchesky got involved, the manager and their assistant manager. She's got a 5-match ban. It was originally 3 matches because she already got an automatic red card, but they gave another 2 matches for improper conduct. And so 5. Apparently, it's the biggest ever, it's the longest ever ban dished out to a WSL player. There we go. How exciting! Plus a load of extra money as well. How's Seb doing? Is he playing? He's back in training, isn't he? He's back in training, so it's good. They finished second in the group. No mugs. Kamala scoring for fun. Not playing yet. We're talking about them. I think he had his first game back. We got back into training. Pedricob, that you think might be thinking about, Mr. Pedro Obiang. He was back in the Sassuolo starting lineup the other day, which was great to see. Didn't it kick off because she was, well, apparently so. I mean, we don't know, but apparently so. It all kicked off after in the tunnel, and there was some abuse hurled. But they've got. She had like a £200 fine, I think. Conch had a £350 fine. So did the Aston Villa assistant manager as well. So yeah, so they're giving it large. And don't forget, when this World Cup is on, the West Ham women, the WSL, is up and running. It's still going. So if you want your live football fix, get down to Dagenham and Redbridge and support the women. They're having a really good season this year. They've got some good players. They've got obviously Conch is involved. He's the manager. They've got obviously Kate, friend of the channel, Kate Longhurst, big West Ham fan. They've got Dagny. She's a big West Ham fan as well. And it's not a lot of money, a couple of quid a ticket, and it's really good fun. Really good fun. Proper football. You know what I mean? It's like it's got that sort of old school football about it. It's really good fun. Me and Flo we used to go to Rush Green quite often, and it was really good giggle. And it's nice to see them win. Although they did narrowly win the other day. They went 3-up and drew 3-2. I got 3 groups right in the Champions League. Very good. Guten Tag. And don't mention it, indeed. I mentioned it once. A bit of a journey from Spain, mate. Yeah, fair enough. I'm sure we all want to see Seb back on the pitch. We certainly do, mate. Rumino goal disallowed against Arsenal. It was disallowed. It was an absolute joke. Dagny scored. She scored I think she scored the first goal. They went 1 up, and then Arsenal came back to 2-1, and then they had a goal. It doesn't matter what league it's in, we still get corrupted by the greedy six. But there was a foul, and I was like, where was the foul? Anyway, keep an eye out for that. We'll try and do some, maybe we'll do some coverage of the West Ham women stuff, and we're during the off season, the World Cup season. As I said, if you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe, and I will see you guys later on tonight. So take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay dry, and ta-ta. Ta-ta. As always, I'd like to thank all our channel members. If you want to become a channel member, hit the join button. We'll be having some more channel giveaways, some memorabilia giveaways coming up very, very soon. So to get involved, all you got to do is become a channel member, and you're automatically involved and automatically entered. Narky and various others, they've won stuff before, so you could win.
It's like a family tree, part of you and part of me. And if we should separate,